All right, 3, 2, 1, and I am recording. Hello and welcome to the Gonzo Experience Podcast. I am David Gonzo Mamano, your host, hopefully with the most. So excited to be here today. So the reason my nickname is Gonzo is it's actually a fraternity name of mine from college. I know y'all thought I went to Harvard, but I went to a school very on the same caliber called University at Buffalo. And the reason I'm telling you this today is because my guest today is one of my very good friends from college. Her name was just Donna Foster back then, but now she got really fancy. Now it's Donna Foster Larocque. Did I say that right? Larocque?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, married a French Canadian, I believe, right? And now, like when you're emailing me, you're spelling color wrong and all these different words. I'm like, all right.
There's always different alternatives to how to spell and speak.
That is true. I am open to all variations of spelling and really everything. So I'm big welcome. So Donna, welcome to the Gonzo Experience Podcast. So happy to have you on the show.
Well, it's wonderful to be here, David, and to see your face again after all these years.
I know we've been, probably connected as Facebook friends, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. And I've been watching everything that you've been doing, your Ironmans, and they should call those Iron Women, right? I mean, so we'll be very politically correct here, Iron People, but
People.
Yeah, you've done. So I've just been watching you not only transform yourself with all your incredible health, fitness, nutrition, et cetera, but transforming others and made an incredible business out of it. And how exciting that you not only help yourself, but you get to help others. And by helping others, you continue to help yourself, right? So what a great circle. And I've been wanting to have you on the podcast because I love what you're doing. I'm big into entrepreneurs maximizing their health and wellness to be the best they can be. And so I'm really glad we got to have you on the show. I want to read your bio, and then we're gonna dig into how you are helping people. So since 2009, Donna Foster Larocque has been a passionate and enthusiastic personal trainer and power walking coach. As an experienced endurance sports athlete and runner, she aims to inspire, train, and coach clients of all ages to live a more active and healthy lifestyle through proper movement, exercise programs, and healthy nutrition. She helps her clients set and reach realistic goals, creates customized programs to improve movement, strength, flexibility, balance, and weight management, and monitors their progress to ensure that they stay on track and they have fun. She's also a strong believer in the can-do attitude commitment, and she has a commitment to one's health, and she's got a good sense of humor, spelled humor, the Canadian. Everyone has the ability to live an active, injury-free, healthy lifestyle. Donna's own sports maintenance includes competing in several full and half Ironmans and marathons. She also has hiked to Mount Everest Base Camp and completed 2 54-mile hikes through Scotland. How cool. Several years in a row. Last but not least, she helped her friend Mario Rigby train for his walk across Africa by planning and walking with him from Toronto to Montreal. And how far is that for those of us that are not?
That is about 280 kilometers. So that took approximately, we did it together. Well, I walked with him almost the whole way for 8 days, and then he took another 6 days to complete it. So 2 weeks.
Oh, that's amazing. So if I have my kilometers right, that's actually 8,000 miles. Is that correct?
Close. It's basically hiking to base camp in Mount Everest.
Very nice. It's so funny, us US people with the whole kilometers metric system. We're so confused,
I know.
But then we use meters and centimeters. I don't know. We're all mixed up. So, so in actuality, how many miles is that? Is that like maybe 2/3 ish of that?
Well, the easiest way to think about it is you just multiply it by 0.6.
Oh,
So if
okay.
we were to look, and that just makes it much easier. So if we were thinking, so it's about 286 times 0.6, 172 miles.
All right, you walked it. Wow, that's fantastic. Good for you.
Thank
So Donna,
you.
tell us your story. So, in college, I certainly would describe you as just a fun, loving, gregarious, warm-hearted person, but I'm not sure the diet of pizza and chicken wings and beer was top on the list of being, a nutrition coach. So how did you, how did you get into this whole field of helping people through wellness, nutrition, and exercise?
Well, you kind of already hit on it because I actually experienced the infamous freshman 15. So, my first year in college, I gained quite a significant amount of weight, and weight is all relative. So, for me, 15 pounds was a lot more than I wanted. And even though I was still active in sports, playing volleyball and fast pitch softball, my eating habits started to increase. So, the chicken wings and the pizza, and of course, yes, the beers here and there. So after a certain point, I realized, okay, I need to balance my fitness with my nutrition. And I think I shared with you that you can't out-train a bad diet.
I love
So
that.
I
Say
was
that again.
often,
Say that again. I love that.
you cannot out-train a bad diet. So no
I'm,
matter
I'm
what
naming
you,
I'm naming this episode that I love that. I love that phrase.
it's
Sorry to cut you off, but that's such a great phrase.
No, it's perfect because I'm still using that term or that analogy with my clients because we often, feel, okay, I've done this great workout. Now I can reward myself with a piece of cake or even something that might be a little bit more healthier, but extra portions. So as I start to see my body weight change and my body shape change, even though I was training really hard and very active, something had to give. So I started to focus more on the nutrition and the balance, and then things just started to work out. And then I fell into the fitness world and started managing the Buffalo Athletic Club, which I think you might be familiar with.
The
And
BAC.
the BAC. And the owner was a huge advocate for both nutrition and fitness. So throughout my training for sales, we had to do both. So we learned a lot about food and fueling your body properly so that you can train and reach the goals that you want, from performance to weight loss management. And especially energy, because who doesn't want energy, especially as we get older? So the more you eat healthy, that's just going to fuel your body to have more energy so you can do more.
It's so important. I'm not going to ask your age, but since went to college around the same time, people can probably guess. But I just turned 52. Thank God I made it so far. And I'm going to
Congratulations.
be honest with you, I feel better now than as far as energy and just health wise, than actually I did when I was in college, right? And I was 20, 21. And I really think it's because I'm just more instigative of the practices, right? So I'm really careful about, what I'm putting in my mouth. I'm really careful about, or I'm really thoughtful, I think, about like how I spend my day maximizing my energy, right? So we talked about before, I was showing you my I got some Fiji water so I could have a healthy interview with you, right? And you're
Exactly.
drinking lemon water, and
Yeah.
did I drink lemon water or Fiji in college? I don't think so. Probably couldn't afford the lemons or the Fiji, but uh,
True.
like I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I have a warm glass of lemon water. Why? Because I heard it was good for you, and I feel fantastic afterwards. I work out, I drink a lot of water, I try to sleep well, and I see a lot of our, I'll say generation, our Gen Xers, fellow Gen Xers, that we are very cognizant of what we're doing to maximize our health and our energy, right? I mean,
Correct.
eating, I remember maybe 25 years ago, I was out to lunch with some of my buddies and I ordered salad and they made fun of me. They made fun of me like, this salad, come on, and I didn't feel like a man, I'm like, all right, give me a cheeseburger. And but now it's like everyone's getting, oh, give me a salad with salmon, and I'm going to do yoga afterwards, and I just finished meditating. And it's this movement, which is very good, is really taken hold of the past 10 years. And I think
Yes.
we see a lot of our generation feeling and frankly looking, and I'm not even kidding when I'm saying this, great, because I think like I'm early 50s, and I remember my grandparents, God bless their souls, and they were wonderful, awesome people. But when they were in their early 50s, in my opinion, remembering back then, they looked like grandparents,
Right.
I don't think we look like grandparents, and so we're doing something well, and it's because of people like you. And so, so when you start working with people, what, like people coming to you and I know you're doing a lot of great stuff on social media, your 222 videos, which are fantastic.
Thank you.
What is kind of the general I'll say challenges that or situations that they're coming to you with, and how do you kind of start getting them going without the shock to the system where you're scaring them and they run away.
Well, and that's a very, very good question. And it's something that I feel separates me from other personal trainers is because before I work with anybody, we do a consultation. And thanks to COVID, we're doing a lot of these consultations virtually, which is fantastic because I feel it kind of gives people a little bit more of a relaxed feeling because they're in their own homes instead of me coming to them or we're meeting in a coffee shop. So the first step is finding out about their lifestyle and having them share with me what their primary goals are. So we need to make sure that there's also synergy, that we can work well with each other. So how we do that is the virtual training. So I ask them questions about their lifestyle, and you've already hit on a few things that are very key in that consultation, which is, besides their health goals, how are their sleep habits, what sort of stress, what is their work method, are they, now we're not driving as much, so I don't have to ask that much questions, but just really finding out where they're at now mentally and physically. And then if there's a good match, then the next step is we actually put those goals down on paper and then we break it down into smaller goals. So we have a big picture, but then we break it down into small increments. So for example, you talked about drinking more water. So that might be the very base foundation. So we look at what they can implement straight away so that they can see results in a shorter term. So they're not looking at a huge plan of, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds, because that can be pretty frightening. And usually when we talk about losing weight, most people think, okay, she's going to tell me I can't have my chips or I can't have pizza, or gosh forbid, I have to give up my coffee. So we look at ways that will reach their goals very realistically and that are the basis, that things that they can carry on a regular basis.
Oh, that's great. So typically the first 30 days, what are some of the things that you're doing to help somebody kind of get the flywheel turning on, their the next phase of their life?
And again, another beautiful question. So after the
That's why I get
consultation,
paid the big bucks, Donna, just
yeah, I
FYI.
could
But
see
go ahead.
why. So after the consultation, we do a fitness assessment. So I look at how their body moves through space. So, functional movements such as how do they do a squat? How do they reach overhead? Can they actually sit and stand up without using their hands on the chair? We look at mobility, flexibility, and balance. So I have a foundation of where their strengths are and then where we need to focus on first. And usually, as we get older, we were mentioning water, we get very dehydrated. So we get very stiff and tight in our joints. So if someone is challenged to do a squat in their fitness assessment, I might not have them squatting in the first couple of weeks. I might have them doing some floor work and doing hip bridges, things that will help move their body in a more easy fashion so that they build the strong foundation from muscular to skeletal. So then we can start adding more of the weights and the resistant bands, etc. So sometimes the first couple of weeks can be a little frustrating in the sense that people want to go, go, go. They want to hit the kettlebells and they want to hit the weights. But it's about building a foundation first, making sure that their body's able to move and do the exercises with proper form and technique. And I should mention here too, I definitely incorporate a lot of breath work, because as we get older, we tend to breathe a lot more through the chest and we forget how to maximize the lungs and the diaphragms. So those are all important functions of the body in order to lift heavy or run faster or longer. We need to get the mobility, the balance, and the breath work to a point where the exercises will be less strenuous and definitely more injury free.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how to breathe correctly?
That is a very good question as well. So, what I often do is I have the person stand with their arms down by their side, closing their eyes, and I just ask them to breathe naturally so that I can see where their breath is coming from. Is it coming from the shoulders? Are they breathing through the chest? Are they actually expanding through the rib cage and the belly? And so that will give me a sense of where their initial breath work is coming from. And then I can start working on developing the proper breathing, which is really all about starting with the belly. And if the person has a little bit of a challenge breathing through the belly, standing or even sitting, I have them lying on their back, placing their hands on their belly. Their legs are bent, so their feet are flat, knees are up toward the ceiling. Placing your hands on your belly and breathing, the person will be able to see, are they actually breathing first through the belly or is it coming from the chest? And it takes practice to really focus on breathing through the belly first if you're a chest or even a shoulder breather. So once we get that breath work down, it will be easier to incorporate a little bit more cardio endurance movements, whether it be plyometric or even lifting heavier.
Yeah, I've learned in the past couple of years that breathing, I don't even thought about it, but I went to here in Rochester, there's a woman named Cindy Weiss who started and now has franchised a yoga studio called Breathe Yoga.
Love
And
it.
she's incredible. So I went to a webinar. I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying webinar because of COVID. This was a couple of years ago. So actually, it was an in-person event, and she started talking about breathing. And I was like, "What are you talking about breathing? We breathe." And it's like, she talked about how most people are breathing and they're getting like the fast food of air, right? Just like these short little breaths that don't go deep. And then she had everybody close their eyes, and we, total quiet and just focus on our breath. And we had to breathe in deeply through our nose for 4 seconds, and then
Correct.
hold it for 4 seconds, and then let it out for 4 seconds. And then just pause for another 4 seconds. And we did that for a whole minute, right? Over and over again.
Right.
And then she's like, and plus her voice, like yours, is just so soothing and relaxing. It's like listening to like beautiful ocean waves or something. But she's like, "How do you feel?" And we all like, everyone's like, "Oh my God, I feel like fantastic and relaxed."
Correct.
And it was just a minute. We just did it for a minute, right? And she literally told us scientifically what was happening is that we were stimulating what's called the vagus nerve,
The
which I hadn't
vagus
heard of
nerve.
either. And the vagus nerve is like kind of the central processing system for how the rest of the body feels. And the rest of the
Correct.
is just like the main communicator. And by taking those deep breaths, we were alerting, the vagus nerve that everything is okay. Everything's
Correct.
great, whether, and what she said is, whether it's not or it is, like if you're feeling nervous about something, AKA everything's not okay, but you can do this exercise, you're kind of tricking the body into telling the vagus nerve that everything's okay. And you calm down and you could just handle the situation a little bit more, relaxed, more confidence, with more grace. And so I just like, I can't meditate or breathe for, too long because of, me, my,
The mind goes around.
there's a squirrel in the window, right?
Monkey brain.
But I do breathe every morning. I try to do a few minutes, at least 3 to 5 minutes. And then also too, when I'm feeling tense or just stressed, I'll take a break and I'll breathe. And it's simple. It's
Absolutely.
like such a basic thing that I think most people don't even think about. So I'm glad that you brought that up because it's been such an important part of my wellness the past couple of years.
It's a fantastic way to start. And the beauty of being able to take those breaks naturally and breathe properly, consciously, obviously, but also unconsciously, you're able to handle any situation. So when I'm with my clients, I'm putting their body under stress. And so we start first with the breath work and stretching and mobility so that their body, both mentally and physically, can be prepared for their workout. And when you're prepared from a foundational standpoint with your mind's alert, you're breathing properly, your vagus nerve has been stimulated, so you're ready for that workout. So you're actually going to gain a better benefit from the workout overall because you're present, you're breathing, your muscles, your cells, your skeletal system, everything is ready and primed to work and also work at its capacity, but yet be injury free. So teaching my clients how to breathe at the beginning, during, because it's important, because when you're under stress, whether it's physical or mental, we have that shortness of breath and we start to instigate the your vagus nerve, but from a sympathetic state, so that fight or flight. So I have to watch and monitor the client so that they bring it up, but yet they can bring it to a parasympathetic state. And that's why ending a session with breath work is so important. So you can maximize what you've just done in that 30 minutes or an hour and let it sink in. I always say, let the benefit of this hour really take effect and breathe. And it gives them a better chance to not only finish the training session, but then transition into the rest of their day.
Unbelievable. Well, I think the proof in your pudding is like, you not only do you look like, I'll say 28, but you're so calm and relaxing, and you just like exude joy, right? It's like, oh, I get to work with Donna, obviously you're practicing everything you're preaching, right? So
Absolutely. I even hear my own voice when I'm training, like, you can do it in my nice, soft, calming voice.
yeah, you're not like what are those training coaches that are like, drill sergeants yelling at you. You're like the opposite,
Correct.
right?
No.
Yep. Now
And I think
before,
you hit on something too, is like, yes, there's a lot of breath work and, looking at form and technique, but having fun. And I often reference to my clients, I'm like, ready for your fun out instead of a workout,
I like
because
that.
it's all mental. So
Yeah.
if they're ready, they know they're going to work hard, but they know they're going to have fun. And I should mention too, there are exercises that we all love, and then there are certainly exercises we do not like. So if a client of mine tells me, Donna, I do not like this exercise, I am not going to have them do that exercise, because I want them to have fun and do things that they want to do, but also know the benefit of it. So that's where the customized programs come in, because not everyone likes a push-up, not everyone likes burpees. So just
I hate
finding what
movies.
works for that person and putting it and structure it in a way that they're really going to enjoy that fun out with me.
I like fun out, and I hate burpees. You're right. I do some beach body programs, as you can tell. And
Yes.
thank you for repeating. And I hate the burpees. Just hate them, but I still do them because I know they're damn good for me. But like this Tony Horton, he's got one program where you're like doing burpees for 2 minutes. And I'm like, are you kidding
Yes.
me? I'm lucky if I last 10 seconds. They're tough, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get to 20 seconds this year. So before we go down, I know that you also have a great program about nutrition. So tell us,
Yes.
how do you get people, back or back on or on track for the first time with proper nutrition? What's kind of how do you get them started, and what are some good ongoing habits?
Well, I reference my nutrition program as nutrition transformation, because a lot of what we do together is everybody knows what to do: eat more vegetables, drink more water, less processed sugars. But how do you implement that on a daily basis? So my program is 30 days. And within that 30 days, we really look at what's going in the mouth and also how the body responds, from digestion to bowel movements to energy to sleep. And how we work with that is every day the person journals what goes into their day, from everything from exercise, sleep, eating, drinking, as I was mentioning, the digestive, like what symptoms do they have after eating and how they're sleeping. And then at the end of the day, they send that information to me, and then I look it over and I give them a consultation right away. I give them feedback as to what they could have done to enhance their energy or enhance their their lifestyle a little bit more, from healthier eating, maybe going to bed a little bit earlier. So we really look at their lifestyle and we break it down into what they're doing every day. And then we work together to improve on a daily basis. And when you do something for 30 days, I'm sure you're familiar with, most things become a habit after 21 days, which is why I've extended mine to 30, because I really want those habits that are implemented to really stick. And prior to getting started, though, I think we had talked about with my consultations with any type of client, it's a pretty in-depth consultation. So lots of forms for health, medical, medications. So we know exactly where we're starting from the beginning. And then I develop a strategy based on that, as well as their goals. So the 30 days, they know exactly what to expect on their nutrition transformation.
Fantastic, fantastic. What like let's hear a typical day for you. Like your like just a eating journal for your day.
So first thing I do when I wake up is I meditate and do my breath work, and I have hot water with lemon, and
Mhm.
then I'll follow that up with maybe a cup of coffee, which I just have cinnamon. And then I do my own mobility work. And usually what I do when I'm training clients, I'll choose a client to train with each day. So that way I'm maximizing my time with my client. And also it's a way to really connect when the client sees me doing that exercise with them, rather than telling them what to do. And then I have my first meal of the day, which is usually between 11 and 1, which could be a smoothie, which is primarily all greens. And the other option is Greek yogurt with fruits. So my breakfast usually starts at between 11 to 1. And then I just drink water and green tea and herbal teas throughout the rest of the day. And then when it comes to dinner, it's a lot of greens and a lot of seafood. So I follow the Mediterranean diet pretty much. And I limit one coffee a day, but I do drink lots of herbal teas throughout the day and water. And I just make sure if I am having anything that's more processed, that I eat and chew slowly and I enjoy every bite of it.
That's beautiful. No, God bless you. I feel like I would get a little hungry, but I would just have to modify. Maybe I'm gonna have the smoothie in the morning and a healthy salad at lunch, and then, I like your idea of dinner, healthy proteins. It sounds like with lots of vegetables, right?
Right.
Mediterranean diet. Some people call it like the South Beach diet, right?
Correct.
Similar, right? I made a mistake. I did the Sicilian beach diet, and it was like filled with cannoli and pasta, and so I I got that part wrong. But I kept on trying.
Hey, at some point, something will give, right? And it's
Oh,
usually the belt size.
it was my Velvet game. Absolutely. But
Uh,
Donna, listen, I am so excited to reconnect with you. Thank you so much for your
my
time and all the
pleasure.
energy and love you're putting in the world to help people. Truly appreciate it. If people do want to get in touch with you to learn more about you, tell us where they can find you.
I have a website, donnafoster.ca, which is being initiated in the next week. So it's updated, but you can also find me on Facebook under Positively Active and on Instagram under D Foster Larocque. But because of the spelling of my last name, much easier to find me on Facebook under Positively Active, and my website, donnafoster.ca.
And you do stuff daily on social media to help people for free, and that's it's fantastic. Give them take the puppy home for free a little bit, and then they want more Donna, right? So, very good idea.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Thank
Donna,
you
thank
very
you so
much.
much. Appreciate it. Great to reconnect after all these years. And I wish you continued massive success at helping people and doing what you're doing.
Thank you, and I hope you continue to do the same as well. We need more people out there trying to help us maximize our potential.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. I want to also thank all of our listeners and viewers for being a part of the Gonzo experience. We appreciate you as well. Do me a favor, if you can, if you love this podcast, and I'm hoping you do, download it, subscribe to it, put it on your favorite podcast app so you get an alert every time we come out. And I will love you even more if you rate and review us as well. So, Donna, listeners, viewers, everybody, Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Wishing you a great, awesome day, and make sure to stay awesome.